Hello, friends. Welcome back to the painting desk. I've had to set my camera up. Hey, Paint Liquor, just to get us back. No, it's a perfect day. Perfect day. Yes, so I've had to set up my camera back here on, thanks Moss, on the painting desk instead of the gaming desk, just so I can finish this chick off for tonight. Because I'll be facing her tonight. Tonight. Hey. Anyway, there is a lot of model on this model. Yeah, so since the last time I did my painting streams, which I find out every time I come on here because I have the date of my stream on my title. So the last time I did a painting stream was the 24th of May, and it's now. No, Cindy's not in here. Under my bed? Yeah, and it's now the thingy of June. So I've had 2 and a bit weeks of wonderful Kingdom Death. Just playing my campaign. And tonight we finish it. And we have to decide if we're going to do another one. I have certainly had a very enjoyable time. I know there's been a number of people who followed the streams quite closely, which has been nice to have. Alright, so what have I got left to do on this chick? So the first thing is I'm going to be airbrushing some colour nuances into this robes and stuff. I'll zoom out a bit so you can... Wow, that is as far as it zooms. This is a giant model. And what else am I doing? Yeah, so right now it's literally... I think I've built up most of the colours and know what everything is going to look like. But it's just a matter of actually finalising all of these little details, which are taking a very, very, very long time. And I need to do the last highlight on the skin. So she might not be finished for tonight, but she'll definitely be passing muster as a fully painted figure in my collection, so that'll be good enough. So yeah, this part that I'm doing right now was not a part that I expected to take me very long, but this has been an absolute monotonous, never-ending journey on this model. She's got so many arms and they've got so many straps. Getting this right is actually a really important part of the final result. And then every now and then you see a little strap in between about 15 arms and you think, fuck you, man. So I get bored of doing these straps and then I pick up something else to do for a bit, which I might be doing very shortly. Alright, let's do some of this bit. Where's me pale sand? Yeah, so time for a very non-specific, non-spoilery review of the Screaming God expansion, which is where we're at. Because I've played it, not in its entirety, but I played all 3 levels of it. And it's been very, very good. So I like to judge expansions based on how often you interact with the content, how engaging that content is from a showdown perspective as well as a gear perspective, and then a lore building side of things. Does it provide any insights into the wider world of Kingdom Death? And then how well does it interact with other things? And yeah, as Paint Liquor has alluded to, starting with the showdown, it's alongside the Dung Beetle Knight now for my favourite showdown in the game. It's epic. It's an epic showdown. The Dung Beetle Knight, the first time you face him, you're just blown away. He starts off, his very first thing that he does is he picks up this dung beetle ball, he throws it around his head in a circle, and then he hurls it at the guy that is standing there stinking up the place. And then he just runs after it, and then he does his actual card. And from that point on, you just fall in love with the guy. Well, the Screaming God, the very first thing he does is he makes this labyrinth start dum, 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 pushing across the board. And it's incredibly dynamic. Gives you a immediate. So one of my probably major criticisms of Kingdom Death, and I don't have many, is that tactical movement is crucial in the game and positioning, but it's not generally that engaging when it comes to terrain. You're not usually tactically positioning with terrain. You're usually just tactically positioning to try and have specific survivors be the targets, and then not much else. But this showdown actually gives you a reason to engage with the terrain on the board. There is really cool interactions with the terrain, and even though the guy's incredibly fast and gets anywhere he wants to go, you have this crevice hopping rule which allows you to negate his actions if you're good on positioning, and then you bring into play some of his later traits which causes an attack effectively after each round, and all of a sudden you have this multi-layered positioning puzzle that just feels really, really cool. So it is absolutely one of the best showdowns that we have, on par with Dung Beetle Knight, in my opinion. So that's a very strong start for the Screaming God. Now, in terms of how often you interact with it, it comes in at Lantern Year 17, which is quite late for the majority of the game, but it is earlier than the other Node 4 in the King. And I think it's a really nice time that it comes in. You've just reached this point where there's usually not a lot doing. You're just wanting to get to the main villain of the show, depending on which campaign you're in, the Gambler, the Watcher. So just having a couple of fights against Screaming God will be an engaging experience that will keep you invested until that last core monster battle, which is cool. And then as the later Lantern years progress, you get to fight progressively harder versions. Level 3 Screaming God, that's a real challenge. A lot of wounds. A lot of wounds to get through. The gear could be the best part of the expansion. one of my issues with the king is how it trivializes other elements of the game because the gear is extremely strong, and it doesn't feel that way with the Screaming God. It feels very powerful, as it should, but it doesn't feel over the top. Which is a really cool balance to strike. Not an easy balance to strike. The gear set is so cool. It is just the same as most other gear sets, which provides you with a buff for moving and activating a weapon, but it does it in a very unique way and provides some extremely powerful benefits, assuming you can meet a few affinity grid caveats, which are hard, and a few survivor caveats. You need to have the most insane survivor. And given how the hunt can change the context of your insanity, and a couple of hunt events for the Screaming God in particular actually will change up the insanity levels quite dramatically. It's actually a really cool balance. So yeah, the gear is actually my favourite part of the whole thing, I think. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I think we need to use a light grey. Alright, let's use Griff Charger. Alexa, airbrush on. That's alright. So we're using the Infinity CR Plus, the Squidmar Infinity CR Plus. This is a precision airbrush. I don't use precision airbrushes much. I normally just use for the old pray and spray. The other way around, spray and pray. But this is a absolutely precision instrument. that I've had some experience with using. Very, very cool airbrush. Alright, you need to be dry before I can fuck about with what I want to do. Come on. It's not time to make a change. Just relax. Take it easy. You're still young. That's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl. Settle down. You want you to get married. Look at me. I am old, but I'm happy. All the times that I've tried, only want to win. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. Alright, that'll do. There's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. There's going to be a quote from me on the Squidmart website talking about how good this airbrush is. Because I'm a horrific shill who will shill anything for the opportunity for free stuff. That's not true. Alexa, airbrush off. This model has many, many, many details. Many. Every time I think I'm getting close, I find more. More. With a rebel yell, she cries more, more, more. Yeah, so the overall feelings on the Screaming God itself are extremely positive. There's only three other Node 4s to compare it to at the moment, which is the King, the Dung Beetle Knight, and the Lion God. The Flying God is a little half-baked as an expansion, unfortunately. Certainly in the context of what modern KDM looks like, it was very much a fun expansion in the first iteration of what we have, but now, the game has knowledges, it has much more clear descriptions of what its nodes are, and so it just falls down a little for now. But comparing the Screaming God to those other two, the Dung Beetle Knight and the King, I think it probably has taken the top spot as an overall expansion, as an overall package. Because of how rounded it is. Contributes to all facets of the game. So I haven't provided letter ratings for any of the expansions or anything like that, but it is a high bar that has set. It's a very good expansion. Okay, how do I structure this next approach? Let's do this. Yeah, Cheeky Muncat, g'day. It's a big one. This has been pretty much all I've been painting for the last 4 or 5 days, and it is still probably a little way off being finished. I think it's nice to put the time into this one. I mean, this is probably the capstone for the majority of Hey Necrotomb of campaigns moving forward. So we want it to be inspiring and horrifying and look super cool on the table. It is ready in time for the campaign. Good work, Mossy Moo. What a beauty. What's happening in your world, Mossy Moo? You got anything you want to share with the chat? Yep. Might hold off on that for a bit. All right, let's highlight some skin areas, eh? So there's a lot of skin, obviously. So what I'm trying to do is make sure there's some very clear focal areas for the viewer to look at when it comes to the skin. Fuck. I need to do more black. Because I have this whole arm where I haven't even done any straps. Thanks, Incentium. Thanks, Necrotomb. Yeah, it's a big model, so the next stages will hopefully really make it pop. What's been my favourite KDM mini to paint? That's a really interesting question that I don't think I've ever answered or even thought about. I mean, I really like the Survivor models. I think they're just really well sculpted. You know, interesting shapes. lots of gigantic boobies to paint, which is fun. But you almost certainly have to pick a monster as one of the favourite things to paint. Maybe the Red Witches. Yeah, I think probably the Red Witches have been the most fun to paint. Hmm. The Flower Knight was great. Flower Knight was really good to paint. But that was very early on in the piece. I probably wouldn't say the most fun to paint has been one of the big models, because like this one's got lots of nice elements that I've enjoyed, but the overall sensation that I get is just one of, monotony is not the right word, but there's just so much. Breaking it up is absolutely critical to not losing your brain when you're painting something like this. So yeah, let's say the Red Witches. Is the answer to my question. This is also a figure where you realise just how many mould lines you missed. Fuck me, there's some mould lines on this bad boy. Mostly hidden that you can't see, which is good, but they're there. Yeah, so I've tried for there to be very specific areas where the skin is more refined and higher value, so that people's gaze is drawn to that area. And obviously the skin tone on the main torso is very important. Okay. Rest the old hands for a second. Let's glue a little bit of grass down while we're waiting. I think the airbrushing at the end, which is going to be to add some magenta and cold purple tones around the base of the model, is going to really help sell the overall ambience. I remember very early on in my Kingdom Death journey, some guy, when I posted a picture of my Kingdom Death paint jobs, basically said, "Yeah, look, the painting's good and all, but that just doesn't fit in with my vision of what Kingdom Death is. There's too much green." Basically, was having a go at the fact that I use lots of static grass on the bases. And that's always stuck with me. And I have not changed anything about how I approached it. But I remember that conversation very well. Why do we only remember the bad things, I wonder? Hey, Seb! The great Mini-Mancer himself. What's happening, mate? Yeah, look, people are allowed to feel however they want to feel, Necro Team. I certainly agree with your assessment a little, but yeah, a person is allowed to have Kingdom Death mean whatever they want it to mean to them. What's probably played in my favour a little over that time is that there's actually been so many more events and things that have come out in Kingdom Death that are more plant related. There's gatherism, faceism. So there's so many elements of the game that do have vegetation that particular person's critique probably falls down a little now. Everyone should go follow Sebastian. He's doing wonderful things these days. I like to claim a lot of credit for his growth as a painter. So you're welcome. No, I was, and I know that, and that's nice of you to say. But there's only so much that a mentor, that a teacher can provide. The real motivation, the real journey comes from within. And if you're not invested in it, doesn't matter how good your teacher is, they're not going to do anything for you. And that's the full credit to you, mate. You've put in the hard yards and done the work, and are now reaping the rewards in the stuff that you're producing and the creativity and all that stuff. So kudos to you. It's a great mentality to have. Some people take the hobby very seriously, and that's nice for them. That's how they derive their enjoyment out of it. So I say, good for those people. Some people just like painting their toys. And I say good to those people as well. The only wrong thing I think that you can really do in this hobby is minimize other people's experience. And maybe that's not just a this hobby thing, maybe that's an actual life thing. It's really the only thing you can do wrong in life. Yeah, there's actually, of course, there's lots of terrible things you can do, but you know what I mean. If you're a generally good human, why yuck someone else's yum? Thank you, mate. It's a big model, and there's a lot of things happening, and we're doing our best. Now I need to. I've got to grab my models from behind me on my desk where I'm playing this Kingdom Death campaign, because this chick actually comes with some encounter minions, some little minions that she has, and we're going to show them very quickly because they're a little bit nude. But hey, Sammy, I was really happy with the paint job. I did the paint job for those 4 models in 2 hours. On 4 models, that's a pretty good clip. And they are easy models to paint because they're all just skin tone with some lanterns. But they just came out really nice, and they sort of informed my choices that I was going to use for this. So I'm going to grab them now. We're just going to show them off quickly, alright? So don't look too closely if you're easily offended by dongers and boobers. Look at the booty. Donga. Look at the booty. Is that a Ben Layton? Dongers. Oh yeah. Get some more boobin, 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 boobin. Oh yeah. So those came out really nice. I'm just really happy with their finish, and they're going to be cool in the showdown tonight. What? Did you say nice donger? You talking about me or the models? Whatever, mate. Whose? They're not purple. And I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. So there's some little elements of brain matter and intestinal stuff across this figure, and I'm going to use some liquid effects, some gloss effects to really make that pop and stand out, which is going to look great. And then we've got these lanterns, which as per all of my Kingdom Death stuff are not going to create any OSL, although I did do some weird purple stuff on my those girls I just showed off. But I don't think I'm going to do that for this, because this has been a lot of painting. I did a little review before, but yeah, they're both, well, the Screaming God component of the expansion is an amazing expansion, and the model's very, very good. This model is the only thing I can comment on so far, but it's very good. Cool. I'm just tempted to do a little subtle bit of that there. That's okay. That'll be fine. Let's do this one. Alright, so here's what you can expect from my channel in the next 2 weeks on YouTube, because it is exciting actually. I'm going to be doing a video for the Scribe guy where I explain how to use Scribe, the program for Kingdom Death. So that's going to be a really cool video. I'm actually super excited to do it, because Scribe is a program that's just made my life so much more achievable as a solo gamer and a streamer. So being able to show how the program works and all of the versatility and stuff that you have with it, amazing. I'm probably going to try and record that this afternoon. Then we've got obviously the finale of the Kingdom Death campaign tonight, our first experience with the Screaming God. I have a pre-release game called Stonefall, which I've made a print and play version of, that I'm going to do a playthrough of on my YouTube. That's probably going to be maybe tomorrow night. And so that's for people that are into the solo gaming. That's actually a game that's designed by Mike from the One Stop Co-op Shop, one of my favourite solo channels. So that playthrough will come out, yeah, either Monday or later on in the week. The Kickstarter actually goes live. Sorry, the Game Found goes live in the 16th, so 2 or 3 days away. So it'd be nice to have that ready to go before the launch. Which is exciting. I've then got another game called Storybook Saga by the same manufacturer, Best with One, Solo Game of the Month series, which just arrived. The final production copy arrived. And I'm going to do a playthrough of that for the channel. And that one, if you haven't heard of that one, is actually really a cool looking game. It's got all of the G'day Gombi on one. It's got all storybook characters with some incredible artwork, and you basically are taking them through a mission, and they're fighting against all storybook villains. Really cool. Kind of imagine that TV show Once Upon a Time, kind of in a board game. You know, I've never actually thought of that before. It's a good question. Where is the front of this model? Because you've got this face and hands at the back there. But no, I do think it's the other way, which we'll show off in a second. This way, I think, with the face. Or the hooded face. It's called the Parasite Queen, so that looks more like a queen than the other side. She's got a little crown there, made of hands. So yeah, the Storybook Saga is going to be great. Really excited for that. So that'll be later in the week. And then I've got another game from Best with One called Witch Hunter, which looks a little bit like Marvel Champions mixed with The Witcher. So if that combination sounds interesting to you, which it definitely does to me, that will be a cool one for me to play. And it has one of my favourite board game artists at the moment. His name's Cole Munro Chitty. He did the artwork for Radiance, which was one that I played quite a lot of on the channel, did some play testing for. And then so he's done really incredible work on the artwork of that game, and he's also the designer, which makes me feel moderately inadequate that he can do really incredible artwork. And then also design the game. What a chump. Mossy, why don't you come in here and tell everyone what's going on in your world, mate? Come in here. Amalia. Amalia's raiding with a party of 96 people.
Jeez. You better entertain them.
Amalia wants to collaborate. Let's stream together with Amalia.
It's like midnight over there.
Hang on a second. I'm turning on my audio, Amalia. Just stand by. All right. Are you there? I can't hear anything. No, you don't want to do that? Okay. You're just raiding? Good work. I'll cancel this. I'm leaving the collaboration. Hello, Amalia. Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in a long time. Now, Mossy was just about to tell us what's happening in your world, Moss. Quick. Hey, Johan.
Dog.
We're adopting a second dog. Why don't you go get her?
She's sleeping.
Okay, don't get her. Johan, what's happening, my man? Baldy. We should get the second camera set up so people can see the dogs. Maybe I should switch this camera. Of course I remember Johan.
Show the pretty one.
Okay, I've just turned this camera like that, so don't go too. Yeah, we got dog cam. Let me just...
Your head's upside down.
That's pallet cam. Can you just relax?
There's a dog.
There's one dog. That's Ellie. Is this pallet cam? No, that's not pallet cam. Where the fuck's pallet cam? Is it this one? There it is. Okay. Do this. Transform. Bit to screen. Oh no, what have I done? How do I get that to just look normal? Alright, I'll have to do it the hard way.
There.
That's Ellie! Hey dog! Hey!
Put a pretty face on there.
Oh, okay.
I don't get it.
I've got to fix this up. Yeah, this is not the new one. Hang on, stand by. Stand by. It's me! It's dog cam! Alright, I'll just move that further back so we can get double me. And then I'll just tweak this. Go get the other dog. Go, Moss. We're working beautifully here. Okay, there's me, and there's Ellie. Ellie! Come here. Cindy! Oh, Cindy's coming. Little dogs. How are you, Malia? Is your stream's going well? This is Cindy. Hey!
You can't see it.
That's alright, we can tilt it down a little. Cindy! Hey! This is a new family member, isn't it? Hey, Cindy.
Put her on the screen. She's the pretty one.
Ellie's the pretty one. Oh, there's you, Moss. Oh, Ellie. Cindy is 7 years old, we think. This is Ellie. And this is Cindy.
Border Collie.
She is a Border Collie, yeah. And she is... Don't get the airbrush cord wrapped around your head. And she is very, very gentle. Come here. She loves acting like a little wriggly worm. And that's a crate that we've got her in at the moment. She's just getting fostered for now, but apparently we're adopting her. Is that right, Moss? Hey, Gary!
Foster failure.
Foster fails. Good work, team. And Ellie's been with us for 12 months, and she's very, very sweet. But Cindy is the new favourite, Mossy told me.
No, she's not.
Hey, you good? You're a sweet girl. Look at that. Good girl. Look at you.
Who needs painting when you've got dogs?
You still need painting. So Amalia has been doing a lot of painting recently, Mossy. Have you seen any of her stuff? You should follow her on Instagram.
I'm off the socials.
You're off the socials, you are, yeah. But Amalia has been flying. For some reason, in the last month or two, she's just started painting a lot of models and talking about it. She's just painting all the time. Maybe there was some huge event that really inspired her. I don't know what it could be, but she's just been painting like crazy, and it's been very inspirational. And she's doing incredible stuff. So if you're not following Amalia, she has a YouTube channel too. She just did a new video for the first time in 7 months. So you should all go follow her on all of those things. Incredible colours. If I was, if I ever got the opportunity to see her painting in real life, I think it would be something that would blow me away.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. We can only hope. No, Wally's in my bedroom. Where's Wally? You don't want to get Wally?
No.
Okay, Mossy doesn't want to get Wally.
Alright, back to painting. That's what they're here for.
We're going back to painting. That's what the fans are here for. Good work, dog cam. Alright, we'll switch off dog cam. Back to the real serious business of painting toy soldiers. Ellie, you're fine. You can stay there eating my feet, you little dickhead. Alright, Parasite Queen. Getting to the final touches. Actually not, there's still a fuck ton to do. There is so much shit to do on this model.
Are you allowed to swear on Twitch?
I'm allowed to do whatever I want on Twitch. I swear. You're allowed to do a hot tub stream if you want, Moss. So, surely a swear word's not too bad. She is a very elaborate figure with lots and lots of details. And it's taking a long time to make it look finished. Giving birth on Twitch is one I've never considered before, but there you go. Yeah, so this model is wild, with so many little bits. She's frothing with bits. Johan, you haven't even seen the back. Look, she's got a big fucking mouth with teeth in the back. What a legend. So I've basically just been trying to slowly build up piecemeal bits. Making progress on all little areas and yeah, chipping away. She does need a dentist. I know I have to go. All the times that I've tried. All the world away now, there's a way. And I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. He's English, mate. It's a phobia for all of the people from that country. No, the last 2 weeks, I don't know if Amalia's still around, but the last 2 weeks I've basically just been playing a Kingdom Death campaign. So I know she and I have a shared enthusiasm and love for Kingdom Death. So I don't know if she's seen that, but yes. Tonight I actually face this model in the game. Very exciting. I also played Magic for the first time last night. When I say the first time, not the first time ever in my life, but the first time in a long time. I played a game of Commander with 3 of my friends, and I played a Lord of the Rings deck, the Riders of Rohan. It was awesome. I had so many cool Lord of the Rings references. I had Eowyn, Shield Maiden, as my commander. Good decision, Amalia. I did enjoy it, yes. So here's a thing that I've said before about Magic, and I think it's very, very true for me. I have never gotten into Magic because I have a very competitive and addictive personality. So if I was to get into it, I think it would cost me a very large amount of money. A very large amount of money. The boys were talking last night about the deck. So we had one guy who was playing Tyranids, one guy was playing Sauron, one guy was playing the new Ninja Turtles deck, and then me playing my Riders of Rohan. And yeah, it's concerning, I think, that there's so much cool stuff that I love that they have now got Magic cards for. I mean, I was looking through the Riders of Rohan deck, and I was like, oh my god, it's got Gimli, it's got Aragorn, it's got Faramir and Boromir. And then there was a card which I got to play in the last turn, which started me on Theoden's speech. So the card is called Fourth Aerlingus, and that's what Theoden says to his Riders of Rohan as they arrive at the fields of Merilor, and he does his speech. Ride for ruin and the red dawn. Ride, death, death, fourth Aerlingus. Anyway, it's the best. It's the fucking. I get shivers down the back of my spine every time I watch that scene. So, I got to play a card that said fourth Aerlingus, and I just lost the plot. I was like, this is the best. And it was the best. Are they doing The Hobbit? Cool. Well, I think they're also doing Marvel releases later on. They're doing Marvel, which is also concerning for me. I do love Marvel models. I painted a lot of Marvel Crisis Protocol and a lot of Marvel figures. So yeah, it's certainly a thing I could see myself getting a little bit ham on, and so I'm trying to not look into it too much because I think I'd get in trouble. I think I'd be like, oh, I've just spent $3,000 this month on Magic cards. I should really be buying a new kitchen. But no, let's buy Magic. Let's buy little cards. Woo! But no, we just adopted a dog, so I'm not allowed to spend money on frivolous stuff. And a kitchen. Yeah, you would need to buy deck boxes and folders and all sorts of shit. It was fun. We played 2 games. I was in a position to win the second game, and I used this spell called Earthquake, which is spend 1 red resource, I don't know what they're called, and then any number of any other stuff, and do that much damage to everyone and yourself. And then my deck has a character in it called some healer guy, and so if you attack with him and 2 other people in the turn, all of your units become indestructible for the turn. So basically what I did was I attacked with all my guys, and then I played Earthquake, and board wiped the whole board, except I had all of my guys still on the board because they were indestructible. It was a very cool play. But that spell also does damage to me as a character, so I put myself quite low health, and one of the other guys did something that I didn't know anything about the rules because never played it before, and he just did 5 damage to me and killed me or something. But it was a cool play. Everyone was like, "What?" Yeah, it was pretty cool. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power. The Turtles deck looked pretty cool as well. 10-player Commander game, that's crazy. So what were you painting, Amalia? Have you got any pictures you can show in the chat? If you've got a Discord link, where you uploaded them to your Discord, you can then put the link to the Discord picture in the chat. Paint a lot of 40k at the moment, aren't you? I've assembled all my dark water figures ready to paint them after. Yeah, I've got a few projects happening at the moment. I've got a lot of projects happening, actually. Too many. Amalia's not the only one who's feeling inspired right now. But I've got Warhammer Quest Dark Water. I've fully assembled all of the figures and based them all and gap filled them all. So we're ready to go on painting that. And that was going to be a little way off. Probably will still be a little way off, actually. Because my diorama, my next big diorama is underway. I've got some 3D printed parts that I'm picking up this week. And all my models are assembled. So the next big crazy diorama will start this week. Nicely timed because I've just finished painting, or will have finished painting, these latest Kingdom Death Girls. So that's 2 giant projects that I've got planned for the next little while. Good work, Amalia. You're awesome. And what I can do now is I can bring up that picture. Like this. You're such a legend, Miles. You just do so much cool stuff with colour. I dig your brain. I got you got we got everybody. If you can't get a girl but your best friend can, it's time to move your body. It's not too early to say. It'll look amazing. Everyone should follow the heck out of Amalia. She's crazy.
Someone needs their phone back on.
Conehead. You can go. Do you want me to turn my camera off? Alright, camera's going off. Off, you can go past. I'm not turning it back on. It's back It is one of the more complex Kingdom Death models that I've ever built, and that is saying something because they are generally pretty complex to build. She got a lot of arms. Yeah, pretty full on. There is a build guide though, which is actually pretty much mandatory, I think, for this model. I don't think I could have done. I haven't played through the vignette, no. So when you do the campaign for the first time, it tells you to play the vignette straight after Lantern Year 6. So, and I think that's a really clever design. It basically lets you play with your new toys very quickly. However, I have a rule on my channel, which is you can't play unless the models are painted. And at that time, I had only just received the models, and so I had not even assembled the Screaming God at the time. And so I decided not to play the vignette. And it is not mandatory, it's optional. So the first time I fought the Screaming God was actually in a normal campaign. I would like to play the vignette. The vignette seems pretty fun. But what I was thinking I might do is play the vignette with my Tuesday night gaming group, who we played through two sessions of Kingdom Death. So we got up to Lantern Year 4, and they thought it was really cool. But we haven't ever gone back to it. And I think yeah, it's cool. It's a cool way to experience Kingdom Death in a more advanced form, the vignettes. So I think it's nice to be able to play those with my mates. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I did get Natalia out to Australia a few years ago. It's probably coming up on... I feel like it was pre-COVID that she came out. It was a long time. She is an incredible painter. She's a lovely human. I have a lot of time for her. She put me in her book. I didn't know that because I don't have any of those books. But she wrote it. She wrote a book with Dave Taylor. The Art of Natalia Orach, and yeah, I made an appearance in there. I was very happy about that when I found that out. I don't wanna rock, DJ. Hey Amalia, just something for you directly. How frustrating is this waiting experience? Is this not the most frustrating thing you've ever dealt with in your life? I am not a patient man, and this is aggravating the absolute fuck out of me. Yep, I did. Ah, well. Most of the time, it's okay. I'm like very zen about it. But then every now and then I remember something, and it's usually talking to you, seeing you paint, whatever, and I remember a thing, a moment, and I just want to talk about it, and then I'm super frustrated. I won't get in trouble, Moss. We'll make it through. We'll get there. Alright, we're starting to look a little more finished now, which is cool. So I'll definitely be able to use her on stream tonight. Which is good. Yeah. I wish they were at a time that was more workable for me, but generally they're not. And that's okay. I don't want you to change the times. Just do the thing. But yeah, I wake up at 6 a.m. and about 50 messages and missed voice chats, missed calls. Yeah, you're right. That's what we get for living in the greatest country in the world. It's tough. It's tough. Alright, let's do a little bit of this. Very dilute. Actually, I've already got some out, haven't I? Yes. Anybody find me somebody to love? Ooh, ooh. Each morning I get up, I die a little. Can't barely stand on my feet. Take a look in the mirror at what you to me. I spent all my years believing you, but I just can't get no relief. Somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love? He works hard every day of my life. I work and I ache my bones at the end. Hello, Quizquilla Paralas. Thank you. Rex, I live in beautiful Brisbane, Australia. Thanks, Amalia. Good night. Have a great week. Hopefully we'll talk soon about stuff. Have I? I just gotta get out of this prison cell. One day I'm gonna be free, Lord. Somebody, Can anybody find me somebody to love? I really think that the very final stages of airbrushing here will just harmonize and bring everything together. And then I also think that adding the glossy effects to the brain intestinal areas will also help quite a lot with the finished look. And the skin tones are still in need of highlighting. It's just a very flat, monotonous looking skin tone at the moment. This is a wild model to try and do, by the way. There is just many aspects of this that need to be tweaked and painted right. And then you also have an extremely hard challenge because the focal point, when you choose this head, there's actually two different heads. The focal point of this figure, which is the face, is a hooded thing, so you don't have anything to draw you into. So I'm thinking I might need to do some sort of pattern in like blood on her face, just so we've got something visually that catches you and draws you into the face. See you, Johan. Thanks, buddy. Miss you. Beautiful Bris Vegas. We're getting there. We're getting there. What a crazy model. Absolutely crazy model. Is this the craziest Kingdom Death model that exists? Is there a crazier one? Honeycomb Weaver might be the craziest, actually. Anyone think of any crazier ones? Yeah, Frog Dog's pretty out there. Giving birth to little dog poles on the side of the model out of the 6 vaginas that it has on the side of its torso. That's definitely a big one. Let me have a look at the Honeycomb Weaver. Honeycomb Weaver, Kingdom Death. Yeah. I'm just looking at the honeycomb weaver model. Alright, this is the honeycomb weaver. G'day, Cragzog! Yeah, so tell me if you think this is the weirdest. There is a render of it, but that's just the artwork. For me, that's the weirdest. There. I don't reckon there's a weirder one. I mean, the frog dog's gross, but nothing about it is. It's just, yeah, I suppose you don't really expect to see a dog giving birth to other dogs in your board game. But, you know. I work and I my ball. Cragzog, how was the Adelaide Miniature Masters, mate? Was it good? Was it a good experience? How many entries did they get? How many attendees were there? Did you drive? Congratulations to Juniper for winning Best in Show. Hmm. 220 is a great turnout. Well done, Adelaide. The whole crew were there. Yeah, we've got a really strong scene. I think, yeah, I won't claim full credit, but I think the Peepo is so great. I think the what happens is that the competition, success of the competition, really inspires the community. You know, seeing a European competition and seeing crazy entries over there, that's very good. There's nothing like seeing models in your own backyard and going, wow, I just want to paint toys. And I reckon that's what Crimson's done for us, is it's given Australia a real thing to aspire towards, which has then in turn inspired not just painters, but it's also inspired other events to want to pop up and do cool stuff. So it's this kind of self-fulfilling prophecy where we inspire and then they want to bring more and then they inspire more and so on and so forth. So given that I'm the driving force behind Crimson, I think I can claim full credit for all those painters, and I will do so. You're all welcome. Yeah, the guilds has also been great. Really something I should participate more in, but don't. It's just hard to find the time, and I also struggle to paint other places other than my desk. Recently I had to struggle through that experience. I can't believe I'm still painting this model. I've been painting this model for what feels like an eternity. This is what the fucking flight's going to be like, isn't it? I prepped some other models to do this morning because I was like, yeah, I'll just knock this over. It's only got a little bit left. It's still got so much left to go. What a crazy time. Fuck. Well, the next event is the Guilds Inn in Australia, and it is coming up quite quickly. We're actually just like coming up on 4 weeks out. 14th, 15th of July or something like that. I booked my flights, might be 18th actually. Yeah, fucking Melbourne. But I'm really looking forward to Guilds. It's been a little while since I've sat in the judging chair, and I'm looking forward to doing so and getting to spend some time with one of my favourite humans on the planet, Sebastian, and also getting to spend some more time with a person that I probably need to spend more time with and learn more about, which is Kyle. Kyle Morgan, two of the absolute pillars of the Australian painting scene for a very long time. I'm really looking forward to that opportunity to work with them. Seb and I did a number of years of Crimson together, and that's been really nice. But we haven't had a lot of judging together recently because of an actual conscious decision that I made, which was to remove him from judging at Crimson because he was heavily involved with guilds, and I wanted him to have an opportunity to enter and submit his pieces and do cool stuff. Yeah, they've both got Slayers. Seb's got multiple, I think. remember rightly, Seb won a Slayer sword in Italy or Germany as well. Seb's credentials are crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I don't know actually. I've never asked him that question. It's of course a different Seb to you. He doesn't paint a lot these days. He does a lot more sculpting. But I know he's always got lots of sculpting projects on the go. Ooh, there's a little teeth there that I can do. It could be. I'll find out from him, mate. He's definitely got lots of sculpting whips on the go. Could do, could do. Alright, so I need to create some structure here. What am I going to do to get this model finished? First thing I need to do is finish off all of these little straps. Okay, so that makes sense. Finish the straps. Then I can look at the figure as a whole and work out where the highlighting needs to be on the skin, because I don't want to highlight every area of skin. I just want to highlight to draw focus to certain areas. When do I airbrush? Do I airbrush before I do the skin highlighting? I think yes. So finish this, do the airbrush, maybe paint a very thin wash on the straps. Seb is not really a common name. No. This is a cool thing that I do. I give myself structure and a plan, and then I immediately go and do the thing that I said I wasn't going to do, which is paint more of the skin tone. Good work, Dano. This is a crown made of hands. I have to say that I love Kingdom Death because that is an outrageous thing to be painting. And hands are usually pretty cool to paint. Alright, well, I think what I'm going to do for now is wrap up the stream and just keep on chipping away with all of these things that I'm painting on this crazy figure. And then I'll do some more this afternoon, but that'll be off stream, and then I will be ready to face this chick in tonight's stream. So I'm doing a showdown with the Screaming God, and then this chick tonight to finish my campaign, the first campaign of the Screaming God. Is it on sale now? Did I miss it? I'll go check it out. Yeah, no, I didn't get it then. But I think my preference on Spiras is pretty well known. I don't like the nice ones that he does. I only like the fighty ones that he does. And if I remember rightly, it was a nice one, wasn't it? It was like a little gnome, another one like that gnome guy. How many more straps are there that you're missing, Dano? Not many, if any. How many dudes, got the skills to go and rock a show like this? I don't know anybody. Check to the mic. Check 1, 2, coming through on the crew. Are you hyped yet? No strappies there that I've missed. Any strappy? Yeah, okay. It was nice, but yeah, not for me. I'm very serious about my toys. I have done some of those non-serious ones, and anything Lucas does is beautiful and worth painting. But yeah, I just like to, I gravitate towards the serious ones. And even the serious ones aren't that serious. Always got crazy little guys jumping off him and... Yeah, that one is a classic. I love all these little goblin guys, goblin riders, pig riders. Just great stuff. Alright, I reckon that will do us for now on this crazy model. I don't want to do sheer fabric on this figure at the moment. I could do it. It is a thing that I've done and have pretty good confidence on that technique. But I don't think I want to do that for this figure. All right. Just so everyone knows, Mossy is starting cooking. Good work, Moss.
Got some boot scoot boogie going on.
All right. All right, friends. Have a fantastic week. I will see you all tonight for my big finale of Kingdom Death, fighting against this chick. Catch you all then. Have a great week. Big General.